So I was working with a client and she was talking to me about how frustrated she was. She was having a lot of bloating, a lot of stomach pain, all the way down into her colon, into the lower left quadrant of her abdomen. And she was frustrated with how unpredictable her symptoms were. And she said something to me that really stopped me in my tracks. And she said she hated her body. Like, she felt like her body was working against her. Like, her body was the enemy. She has to fight her body every single day. And it broke my heart because I used to feel the exact same way when I was bedbound. My body felt like a prison cell to me. And I used to think my body was broken. It was betraying me. God was punishing me. My body was sabotaging me and working against every single thing that I was trying to do. But what I know now is what really changed my perspective and changed how I healed my body. And that was, again, having that mindset shift. My body was never the enemy in the first place. My body was trying to save my life. And if you have been at war with your body, and if you have been fighting it, hating it, feeling betrayed by it, today I want to help you see what it's actually been doing all along. Because when you understand that your body's not working against you, that it's working for you, everything is going to change for you. The way you treat it changes, the way you talk to it changes, and ironically, that is when healing truly becomes possible. So let me ask you something, and you can put this down in the comments below. How do you talk to your body? Do you say things like, my body is broken, or my body won't cooperate, or my body is failing me, or I hate my body, or my body's the problem? Or do you say things like, my diagnosis, like my anxiety, my IBS, my Hashimoto's, my PCOS, whatever it may be, my gut pain, my food sensitivities? Okay? Listen, I'm not trying to judge you guys when I say this, because I said all of those things too. Because when your body is giving you a whole long list of symptoms and it's not doing what you want it to do, even though you are trying to ask in the nicest way possible, you know, when it hurts, when it's tired, when it reacts to everything, it's going to feel like your body is the enemy, right? It feels like you're doing everything right. And your body's just sabotaging you because at the time you're probably eating the right foods, or you're going to all the doctors, you're taking the supplements, you're resting, you're trying to stay calm, you're trying to sleep, you know, you're doing all these things, but you're still having the gut flares. You're still tired and fatigued all of the time. Your nervous system is still freaking out with all of this anxiety and the palpitations, maybe even POTS, right? And nothing is changing. And so you do think, well, what's wrong with my body? Like, it needs to be fixed, right? There's this mystery illness that the doctors just can't figure out. So why won't it just work? Why is it so broken? What's wrong with it? And so you go to war with it. You try to force it to behave a certain way. You override its signals. You push through when it says to stop, and you ignore what it's trying to tell you, which means you're probably going to see at some point that, yeah, it's something that you control. It's something that you need to fix. You need to beat it into submission, or else it's going to control you. And so you become adversaries, right? It's you versus your body, not you working with your body. And the devastating part is the more that you fight your body, the worse it's going to get. The more flare-ups you're going to have, the more severe your symptoms, okay? The more your nervous system thinks that you are a threat, the more it shifts into that fight or flight mode. And your body is like in this chaos, right? So it doubles down on the symptoms. It holds on tighter to things. It gets more reactive. And it's not because it's more broken. It's because it's trying to protect you from what it thinks is a threat. Even when the threat is you fighting against your body. So let's try to reframe this a little bit. What if I told you that every single symptom your body is giving you, every single frustrating, painful, inconvenient thing that it's doing to you is a message and a protective response? What if your body's not actually broken? What if it is doing what it was designed to do? Your fatigue is not your body failing you. Fatigue is your body forcing you to rest because you will not do it voluntarily, or you cannot do it voluntarily. So your body's sitting here screaming at you, saying, hey, we're depleted. I don't have energy. I need to conserve what little bit I do have so that I don't, so I'm going to shut down all these non-essential functions so that we can survive. Right? That's where the chronic constipation comes in, because digestion is not important. It doesn't want to digest all of the foods, which means you're going to get nutrient deficiencies, malabsorption, things like that. Right? So your gut issues are not random. If you are stuck in fight or flight, it is not random by any means. Your nervous system is trying to take resources away from digestion because it thinks you're in danger. So it's saying, hey, we don't need to digest food right now. We need all of the energy that we have to go to immediate survival. And then we have the anxiety, right? So the anxiety is your alarm system doing its job. So maybe it's hypersensitive. Maybe it's detecting threats that aren't actually there, but it's trying to keep you safe, right? It's saying, hey, I'm scanning for all this danger externally. I'm scanning for all this danger internally inside my body, just so I can make sure nothing hurts us. And then you have pain probably too, right? Pain is your body's way of getting your attention. In chiropractic school, we learned that pain was the last symptom to show up for most people. Okay, so it is saying, hey, something here really needs to be addressed. Like, this is very, 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 very important. Okay, like I've been telling you for a while. This is me telling you, like, hey, I'm yelling at you now, right? I'm really trying to get your attention. And then you have the brain fog, right? So that's your body prioritizing basic survival functions over higher level thinking, over higher level, healthier decisions. So it's saying we don't have enough resources for everything, so we're going to shut down all of the extras. And then the emotional reactivity happens. And that's your nervous system in that alarm mode, trying to protect you from perceived threats, something that might happen in the future, right? Something that maybe you're reliving in your head, you're ruminating over the past. It's saying, hey, we feel unsafe. We need to defend ourselves. So that's what's happening in your body, right? Your body's not malfunctioning. It's responding appropriately. It's responding to chronic stress. It's responding to overwhelm, to threat signals outside the body, inside the body. It's responding to a nervous system that's been in that survival mode for too long. And it's doing exactly what it was designed to do in those conditions. So the problem is not your body. The problem is that your body has been getting those danger signals for so long that it's stuck in that protective mode. And that protective mode feels like a bunch of symptoms, right? And those symptoms we see as a problem that needs to be fixed. And we see it as our body working against us, trying to, take us out. But it's really not. Your body is working exactly as it should. It's trying to make these changes and these adaptations so that you survive, okay? So here's what happens when you treat your body like the enemy. 1, you are going to create more stress, okay? So when you hate your body, when you fight it, when you see it as a problem that needs to be fixed, that creates stress. It creates certain emotions, which release chemicals, triggering the stress response, and then you release more chemicals that increase inflammation, right? So your fight or flight stays activated and just gets more and more and more activated, right? Which makes you hate your body even more. So it's like this vicious cycle. And then you stop listening to it, right? So when we see our body as the enemy, we start to ignore the signals. We don't listen to the needs. We push through when it says to stop. And those signals are important. They are your body trying to communicate with you, right? But you've decided that it's untrustworthy at some point. So you stop listening, which means you are going to miss all of the information that you need in order to actually heal. And then we start to lose the partnership, right? So healing is not going to happen when you are at war with your body. It's going to happen when you're working with your body. But you cannot work with something that you see as the enemy. So you stay stuck. You're fighting, you're forcing, you're angry, you're controlling, you're anxious, your body's defensive, it's protective, it's reactive, it's having more symptoms and flares. 4th, you internalize the shame. So when you start to believe, like truly and wholly, that your body is broken or that it's working against you, you start to think, I'm broken, right? Like, what's wrong with me that my body won't cooperate? Why am I so weak? The doctors tell me I'm fine. Everyone else can handle this kind of stress. Why can't I? And so that shame, again, keeps you stuck in that cycle, right? It keeps your nervous system activated. And when you are in that sympathetic fight or flight state, that survival mode, your body cannot heal. It has to be transitioned over into that rest and digest state. So how do you stop fighting your body? How do you start partnering with it, working with it, healing your body? We're going to talk about some shifts that can change everything for you, okay? So 1, mindset, okay? Mindset is more important than almost anything that you will ever do, because if you don't have the mindset, it's not going to happen, okay? My body is broken to my body is protecting me. Once you fully understand that, you have a symptom show up and you don't panic about it anymore. Instead of saying, oh God, I'm having palpitations. What's wrong with me? Do I need to go to the hospital? No, you say, oh, I'm having palpitations. What's my body trying to protect me from? Okay. Breaths, relax. Maybe it's protecting you from doing too much. Maybe it's protecting you from stress that you haven't acknowledged. Maybe it's protecting you from ignoring your needs. Your body is so wise. It's so smart. It has this innate intelligence inside of it. Even when it feels like it's a problem, it's trying to communicate with you, okay? You also need to shift from I need to fix my body to I need to support my body. Okay, fixing and support are totally different. You are not broken, so you don't need to fix it, right? You might need some support. You might need some resources, maybe some safety, maybe some rest. So instead of trying to force your body to change, ask yourself, like, what does my body need in order to feel safe enough to heal? Third, you want to shift from the mindset, my body won't cooperate, to my body's communicating. Symptoms are a language. So when you start to understand that language, you start to actually listen to the communication signals. They are your ways, body, of telling you something, right? So pain says, hey, pay attention here. Fatigue says, I need rest. Anxiety says, I don't feel safe. Gut issues are saying, hey, something about this situation is overwhelming. So try to listen. Don't silence it. Don't override it. Just listen to your body. And lastly, you want to be grateful, okay? And I know this one can be really, really hard, especially if you are in pain or you are struggling, but try it. Put your hand on your heart and just tell yourself, body, thank you for protecting me. Thank you for working so hard to keep me alive. I'm sorry that I've been fighting you, but I'm listening now. Okay? It's going to sound silly. It's going to sound cheesy, but you're communicating with your body and telling it that it's okay. And like you're releasing a lot of tension, a lot of pressure, a lot of weight that you don't have to be carrying right now. Okay? So when we start to do this, there are so many things that change. And one of the most important things that change is symptoms often improve, right? Not because you're trying harder to fix each individual symptom, but because your body finally feels safe enough to let go of that protection, right? Symptoms are signs of protection, your body trying to warn you and protect you. So when you're not at war with your body, your nervous system can downshift. And when your nervous system starts to downshift, the symptoms calm down. Okay, so you stop feeling so much shame, right? You notice or you realize and understand that you're not broken. You're human. You have a body. That body's trying to survive. And there is no shame in that, right? And then you start to trust yourself and trust your body again. So when you listen to your body instead of ignoring it, you start to rebuild that trust, right? With yourself, with your body, with your instincts, with your intuition. And you remember like, oh my God, my body knows things, right? And when I listen, it guides me. Right? And then you start to access actual real healing, like innate healing, right? Our body is very incredible, divinely designed. Going back to the sympathetic, parasympathetic, right? We've got that gas pedal, we've got the brake pedal. If you are laying down on that gas pedal in a stressed mode 24/7, you cannot push down the brake pedal. You can't push both simultaneously. Okay? One foot cannot press both at the same time. All right? So if you never let off the gas and you never push the brake pedal, you're never going to heal anything. Because when your body is over here and it's pushing that brake pedal, that is the rest, digest, and heal mode. That is where your body repairs cells and tissues, damaged DNA. It clears out toxins, all of these things. Okay? So it helps you heal from, infections and things like that. So you have to create the conditions where your body feels safe enough to heal so that it can shift into that state and do what it does best, right? So safety, support, partnerships, those are going to be super important to you. That is where healing lives. I would say probably about 3 to 6 months after I stopped fighting my body, my gut symptoms were 80% better. I was starting to walk again. I was starting to go outside again because I had POTS and could not even open my back door because the heat was so bad. And it wasn't because I was doing a bunch of fancy things, but because my body finally felt safe enough to digest food again, to absorb those nutrients, to heal itself, to do all these things that it should have been doing in the first place, but it didn't feel safe enough to do. Right? So my nervous system stopped seeing my body and certain functions and certain symptoms as a threat or as a battlefield even. Again, and my nervous system stopped seeing everything, the symptoms, my organs, my body, as a battlefield. And it stopped seeing everything as a threat. And my body stopped feeling like it had to defend itself from everything. And that is what peace does to you. Okay? So remember, your body is not the enemy. It was never the enemy. It is trying to protect you and keep you alive. Even when it feels like it's working against you, it is working for you. And I promise you, the moment that you stop fighting your body and you start listening to it, everything is going to change for you. Okay, your journey is going to get so much better. Your body is going to do some incredible, miraculous things. And I want you to try something this week and let us know in the comments below how it goes. Every single time you have a symptom show up, I don't care if it's pain, if it's fatigue, if it's anxiety, gut issues, whatever symptom it is, instead of hating it or fighting it, I want you to literally put your hand on your body and ask it, what are you trying to tell me? What do you need? And then the key, listen. Truly listen to it. Because your body's been trying to talk to you for a long time. If you've been chronically ill for years, decades, if you've been stressed for years and decades, your body is trying to communicate. So it's time for you to listen to it, right? That's why you're here. That's why you made it this far into this video, because you want to listen. So give it the opportunity. Give it some time. And if you're realizing that you need support, you want more one-on-one support that is going to help you learn how to partner with your body instead of fighting it, that is exactly what we do in our one-on-one sessions and our coaching program as well. We help you learn to rebuild trust within your body, to learn its language, to create the safety that it needs in order to heal. So all of that will be linked below for you guys, and you're free to email me if you have any questions. So I hope this has been beneficial for you guys, and we will see you next time.